Ladies and gentlemen, welcome very much to another edition of my interview series Talks of Brilliance, where I only interview the world's most important geniuses and successful people and experts in their fields. And today is a very special day for me. I have the honor, and I am so blessed to interview Mr. Simpson. Paz is the true happiness engineer. And allow me to introduce him a little bit first. When I first connected with him, it took just 1 second to enchant a bright smile into my face. Paz is the true happiness engineer and is also called Mr. I Love My Life because he spreads joy from his very first smile. Whether it is in his daily many videos, whether he's lighting up a stage or in his coaching sessions, his mission is just to help to create a happier, healthier, and wealthier world. And I invite you to experience with me together some special magic. Paz teaches people how to make the choice of happiness, how to define what success feels like to you. So, please welcome, with very much gratitude and joy, the happiness engineer himself, Mr. Paz Simpson. Paz, I'm so honored and blessed to have you here with us.
Oh, man, brother, the honor is all mine to be able to step onto, your show and to be able to share just a little bit of joy with your listeners, your viewers, and hopefully, we'll be able to take somebody from wherever they are, whatever darkness they're in, into a place of light. So the honor is definitely all mine.
And looking into your face, I already feel that the energy is rising up and beginning to take people into the place where you are constantly living in.
Yes. I mean, we have to all understand that happiness is a choice. And we start off, as infants and as toddlers, we live such a happy life. And then we're convinced, throughout life, when you're going through school and after school, if you're watching all the wrong kinds of media, you're taught how not to be happy. That choice is almost stolen from you. And you have been programmed to think that, you don't have the right to choose to be happy. So it is a honor. It is a blessing. And it's truly, one of the greatest things we can do is to restore that choice in each and every human being we actually get to encounter.
I totally agree, and that resonates with me. When I look back at my life, there was a certain dark place 3 decades ago where I even thought to myself, you don't deserve happiness anymore. Where I was even a little bit ashamed to feel that certain kind of happiness because some unpleasant things happened to me in the past. So to let us uplift the people who are already knowing, when I hear Paz's voice, when I look into his face and see his smile, this is truly an awesome source of happiness. Be so kind and tell us a little bit about your story.
Yes, I'll give you who I am first and foremost, and then I'll give you how I got here.
Please.
First of all, I'm a father of 4. That's what I am first. I'm daddy first. I have 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls. My oldest is now 21 years old. So funny to say that. And my baby girl is 8. So first and foremost, I'm dad. But I wasn't always the happiness engineer. I went through a place just like you, where I had a dark period in my life. I grew up in New York City. So I grew up in Harlem in the 80s, and I grew up during the crack epidemic. So when drugs, became, part of everybody's lifestyle, whether you were a drug user or a drug dealer, it was part of your lifestyle. It was what you saw on a regular basis. The role models in our neighborhood, were not the lawyers. They were not the doctors. They were not, the actors. The role models in our neighborhood were either the basketball players or the drug dealers. Or later on, it became the rappers. Hip hop music actually, birthplace was really Bronx and Harlem. So in New York City, and that's where I grew up. So I spent most of my life. So hip hop music, I actually got to see it come from just being a baby, because it was born in my early years of life, and it didn't really see its heyday until about my high school years. So I got to grow up with hip hop music. So after I graduated college, got my college degree from Lehigh University, I got myself into a little bit of trouble because all my friends were still dibbling and dabbling in the streets. And I thought that that was a great thing to do. And one of the things that one of my mentors had said to me, or John Assaraf, who was in the movie The Secret, he said, we don't see with our eyes, we see with our brains, but our brains will only see what we were trained to see. So being that we were trained to see that these drug dealers were great, even though I was a straight A student, captain of the basketball team, captain of the debate team, I still aspired to be a drug dealer. I still truly wanted to be just like them because that's who we saw driving the fancy cars. That's who we saw having the pretty women. That's who we saw, living the superstar status in our neighborhood. So I made some mistakes. And after I graduated college, got in a little trouble, I had started my first business, which was a music company. So we did everything. In the music industry, I've done everything from run my own independent record label to, road management. And at the end of that career, my business partner, who was actually a big road manager, he had road managed everybody from Jay-Z, the rapper, to Bruce Springsteen, rock and roll. He was murdered. He died a brutal death. And it was one of those things where I say God makes no mistakes. Right. No one should ever die the way he died. He died a brutal death. He stole some money from the wrong people, and they murdered him. But at that moment in my life, I had attached my identity to him. I didn't think I can live without him, instead of understanding that when you keep God in the center, everything else gets better. So when he died, I was still, dibbling and dabbling in the streets because we're in the top of the music industry. And at the top of the music industry, it's a real weird place. There's either you choose a gangster lifestyle most of the times, or you choose the lifestyle, that are closer to homosexual. And I chose to be a gangster. I was like, I like women too much, so I'll be a gangster. So we were doing, we played on the wrong side of the fence for a little bit, and he was the only person that we had that didn't play in that arena. So I dropped to my knees and I said, God, this cannot be my life. No matter what you have in store for me, I'm going to follow that. I'm going to become that, and just show me a sign. So the next morning when I woke up, I jumped on the computer, and immediately, the Napoleon Hill Foundation's Think and Grow Rich call showed up. And I dialed into that call, and they were reading a book, and actually just starting the book that I needed to have at that moment. That's why I say God makes no mistakes. They were starting the book Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. And that makes you actually check your self-image. And at that time, that was what was shaky in me. I had lost my way. I needed to rebuild my self-image. I needed to know why I love myself. I needed to understand how I can choose happiness, how I can understand that we are blessed and highly favored at all times. If you're alive, you are blessed and highly favored. Even if you're homeless right now and you have nothing in your belly, you're blessed and highly favored because you have the opportunity to do something different. You have the opportunity to make something happen. So I didn't know that at that moment. So I was on the Napoleon Hill Foundation call, which I'm still on 5 days a week, because it's Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. And I'm on the call now, more of a give back for what it gave to me. So I'm on the call very faithfully to be able to hopefully inspire someone else, because at that time, that call was actually in its infancy. So I actually got to grow up with that call. It was about 6 months old when I joined. It's now 5 years old, and I've been on it for about 4.5 years. And, I was on that call, and I started to find myself. We were reading great books like, Psycho-Cybernetics, The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, which is my second favorite book after the Bible.
Yeah.
You're reading all of these great books. So you're now, getting to learn about the true essence of you and sharing and masterminding every day. And I didn't say anything for about 6 months on that call because I was still finding my way. And then after about 6 months, I started to share my pain. And it wasn't that I was still in pain, but I've decided that that pain didn't own me. I owned that pain. And I was able to share what I was going through in my transformation and how I was losing some friends but gaining new ones. Because sometimes you have to let go of others to allow new things to come in. So I lost some people, and it was no problem because God gave me someone that was greater, that someone that can help me get to where I needed to go. And I was truly sharing that with other people. And then one day, one of the ladies on the call screams out, "You're the happiness engineer." I go, "Oh, I like that name."
Awesome.
And then a friend of mine that was on the call, she said, "If you're going to be the happiness engineer, you got to become an expert in happiness. And for you to become an expert in happiness, you have to read at least 50 books on that subject." And I still wasn't in my place of where I was thinking abundantly. We were still thinking in limits. So I didn't think I can come up with the money, for these, 50 books. And so she said, for me to tell you that I'm going to invest in you and I'm going to send you your first 15 books on happiness.
Wow.
She sent me that, and sooner or later, sooner than later, I was on my way. And then, of course, God has given me so many other great people, in my journey. My one mentor, Greg Reed, who became my mentor almost by force. He gave his cell phone number out one time, and next thing, he had no idea I was going to be on that call when he gave it out. And I called him immediately, and he's, and I call him now all the time. So Greg Reed writes all of the new Think and Grow Rich books for the Napoleon Hill Foundation. Frank Shankowitz, who is the founder of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So many other great people just started to embrace my smile and my journey. I wasn't where I am now, but they understood where I was going. Even some of them better than I did myself. But started to make the choice of being blessed and highly favored. And it's funny, right? We're actually on the Think and Grow Rich book, Think and Grow Rich call. We're going over the book, The Science of Getting Rich Again. And we were just talking about this today, how in The Science of Getting Rich, it says there's a thinking stuff where all things are made of, and I had to explain to the people on the call how that thinking stuff works. First, I am blessed and highly favored. If you call me, if you ask me at any time, my answer never changes. I am blessed and highly favored. Hey, Paz, how you doing? I'm blessed and highly favored. See, that's the thinking stuff. If I can think that I'm blessed and highly favored, I can find a blessing in all things, especially the challenges. So I'm blessed and highly favored. And then I'm grateful, never satisfied. Big difference. I'm grateful for everything that I get, including the challenges. I'm grateful for the food I put in my mouth. I'm grateful for the air that I breathe. I'm grateful that I can actually be on this call sharing with my brother David, right? but I'm never
So this
satisfied.
is, you share here so much treasure where we could talk for ages alone.
Yes.
I might sum it up, some gems that you just shared, and my gratitude for so rich content contributions in the beginning directly, where that we hear everybody has been at a dark place in life, where it just seems like as if the universe wants us to experience a turning point and to come back
Yes.
to something what people call God, to come back to a higher power, to open the eyes of the heart. And like Pers had said, many people make the mistake to have a false sense of belonging. Like you had said with the drug pulse, where the guys are on the street and dealing drugs, where they think, okay, I need to do the same because this gives me a sense of belonging. Being piece of a gang, belonging to a crowd covers the void of emptiness that I have inside. So that is one important thing we can directly learn from you, that it is open up to an intelligence that is greater than we are. And
Yes.
it's important that you talked about John Assaraf, because I had been in one of his Mastering the Game of Money programs years ago. And I extremely appreciate his message, you see with the brain. And it's all around perception. You can look at a glass or at a bottle of water and say it's half full. You can say it's half empty. Or you can even look for someone who is thirsty. So that is the thing, that perception is one of the most important tools. That
Yeah.
no matter how your life is, no matter how deep the shit is you perceive yourself being into, there is always a choice.
Yes. Your perception is your reality.
That's it.
And that's the most powerful thing people can understand. You know, people think perception and reality is different. Your perception is your reality. So if you sit back and feel like you're blessed and highly favored, even if the world sees you as a homeless man, you can you can shape your reality by that perception. Things will start to fall in place. It'll all, the universe will conspire for you or against you based on what you believe.
That's exactly the case, and my aim into that. And I love to reveal to my viewers and to my audience the genius strategies people who are experts in their field have, like you. So if someone would say, okay, I want Per Simpson to have a day off, to have a vacation wherever he wants to go, and I want to fill his place in terms of his thinking, his self-image, his mindset, that nobody else would ever notice that Pez is just having 24 days off. How would I, who want to fulfill the job perfectly, need to approach life, to think, to feel what kind of imagination would I have? And dear listeners and viewers, we can learn from Pez one most important thing in the beginning. Make the feeling of gratitude an important, solid, caring foundation. Be grateful about everything you experience in life. Don't take everything for granted. Just be grateful about the roof over your head. Be grateful about your clothes. Otherwise, Paz and I would have a communication being naked. And I don't think that everybody would love to see me naked here. And being in that deep space of gratitude and appreciation helps you to be grateful for the food, helps you to be grateful for communications, for people in life. And like I learned from Napoleon Hill, there is nothing more satisfying than walking the extra mile for people, helping them, doing mastermind alliances. And Paz, you will allow me to share a secret with the audience. The most unique thing that ever happened to me at Facebook in a connection and message after a friend request was that a person connected with me and asked, how can I serve you? And this person was definitely Paz, who is just smiling into your faces right now. Paz started our connection by asking me, David, how can I serve you? So this inspired me to say, you must interview this man, you must interview such an awesome energy vibration and such an iconic person who is a teacher to everyone with his wonderful lifestyle and energy. So we sum it up first, be grateful, have gratitude, smile. Paz is embodying and living the power of smile. And it's an infectious smile. It gives you the positive vibes of happiness. And I deeply know inside myself that you already feel infected by his positivity, by his smile and his extreme wonderful radiance. So we start the day with gratitude. So, Paz, if someone says, okay, I know it is about how to be grateful, how to wake up with gratitude, and in any case, you listeners or viewers are a dad or a mom, make it a priority to experience yourself as the loving parent and being proud that you had been granted to bring new life into this world. So Paz said, in the first place, first I am dad. So being grateful and having a strong, wonderful heart-to-heart connection to your children or to your beloved ones. So Paz, let's hop on what you just said and continue. When someone would ask you, you know, Mr. Simpson, you say happiness is a choice. So I need to learn that I can choose, that I ain't no victim anymore. So when you
There's,
say I have the choice, how does happiness feel like? Where would I have this feeling of happiness in my body?
well, it's real simple, and you gave them the backbone already, David. It starts with gratitude. I say gratitude is the backbone of life. It's the backbone to your happiness. When you can, and when I'm coaching people, what I make them do is start to examine 10 things that they can be grateful for. And most people don't understand that they have 10 things right away. So you can start with, I'm grateful to be able to talk to you. I'm grateful to be able to take this air in. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to, then you get them started. Once you start putting, actually, Bob Proctor, who is, one of the icons. I was blessed to be, at his ceremony when he went into the Hall of Fame.
Oh,
But he gives a real basic way to do it. To start with, I'm so happy and grateful, and then fill it in. So I'm so happy and grateful to be alive. I'm so happy and grateful to be able to talk to you. I'm so happy and grateful to just smile big and enjoy. And you can start from there. And then once you get them thinking in gratitude, there's a simple happiness formula that I've developed. My simple happiness formula is thoughts plus feelings plus actions equal happiness. Let me repeat that for them. Thoughts plus feelings plus actions equal happiness, because you have to think it first. That's why you start with the gratitude thoughts. And until you I go with people through the gratitude thoughts so they actually feel grateful. Because once you can feel it, you can move on it. When I became the happiness engineer, I had to think it first. Then I had to feel it. Then I had to actually take an action upon it. Because what happens if you don't take that following action, you can still slip back into the cycle of misery,
right,
because there's an action that needs to come forth. Because like they tell you in the Bible, faith without work is lost. So if you don't work in that faith, then you'll still be in a place where you embrace some doubt. So there's an action that you have to take. So thoughts plus feelings plus actions equal happiness. And the more times you can pay attention to either how you're thinking or how you're feeling, it'll determine how you act. So I keep those people really just in those two places, so you can always determine your happiness. And even if you can't push yourself out of happiness into happiness right away, there's certain things you can do. Like the highest vibration is laughter. So you can just laugh out loud. Laugh, even if you have nothing to laugh at, laugh out loud, and you'll start to feel things change on your inside. You know, a smile is the key to your happiest self. So you can just smile at someone,
That's
walk
it.
down the street and
Yes,
smile at someone, and
exactly.
you can then build off their happiness from the reaction that you received off of you smiling at them.
So
So
write it down, what Pers just said, the magic formula. Thoughts plus feelings plus actions creates happiness. So everything, and no matter whether you write it down right now, this is the reason why many books simply collect dust in the bookshelves and people come to us and say, well, the book was so great, but I don't feel any change in my life because you haven't applied it. That's the reason. Reading alone, feeding your brain and your thoughts without creating emotions from what you read, without taking action, just contributes that the book will collect dust again and again and again. So what
yes,
Paz just shared as a magic formula, and that makes you a wizard of your own life. Thoughts first, use your brain, use your intelligence, and create powerful emotions. Like Paz said, on the foundation of gratitude. And thoughts plus feelings plus actions. Take action. Taking action is easy by simply writing down 10 things you are grateful about as a start in the beginning. Or what I did since our interview began. Inhale the positive energy around you, exhale love and appreciation through your heart chakra. So as Paz and I have that awesome connection here, sharing the wisdom with you, just breathe deeply and let the love that you receive, let it flow. Get it out to other people, get it out to your communication partner. And you will create miracles when you see how much happens to you when you send love out. The secret formula I might add to what Paz just said is the more you give, the more you receive. That's just
yeah,
the simple thing. Everybody in this world fails when it's based on ego and greed, when it's on what's in it for me. You need to ask, what does God, what does the universe, what do I need to learn in this situation? And how can I use the situation to spiritually ascend? That's the thing, to be
yes,
a vessel for the universe and a vessel for happiness. And who can teach it better to you than Mr. Happiness Engineer himself?
yes.
So
So you're saying some great things, David, and I think one of the great things that you said that we can tap into, you know, is whether you call it God, whether you call it Allah. It's not my job to convince you on what your spiritual belief is.
right.
You know, I mean, just because I say God, you know, that's not my job. But what you can, whatever you call it, there's one consistent, you know, thing that links them all. See, one of the quotes from my book, The Big 365, is God is love, and to love is to do God's work. So the more time you can actually spend loving others, loving yourself, that only adds on to, you know, the amount of time you can spend in happiness. You know, we are supposed to give, you know, and I tell, if you give and pay it forward, the universe, if that's what you choose to call it, or God pays you back 10 times. So if you give love before you've ever received it, right, then the
Yes.
universe will pay you back with so much more love, and then you can spend your time in more happiness. You know, you don't have to worry about, you know, whether you're going to run out of happiness, because we live in a land of abundance. So you can continually give love. My mentor Greg Reed always says, fill your cup until it flows over. So if you fill your cup up with love until it flows over, that means to love yourself so much that it doesn't matter if anyone else loves you, because you love yourself enough that you can love them anyway. You know, I tell people I love myself so much that your love is just a bonus.
Awesome. And we can add this wisdom again to what Paz had said. If you want to have his job for a day and give him a day of vacation, we know you just need to wake up with gratitude. You just need to wake up with a self-image where you are full of deservingness, where you know you simply deserve to be loved by yourself. Look into a mirror and laugh about what you see, because Paz just shared with us the power of humor. So I learned in the past, the person is wise who is able to look into a mirror and laugh about what he sees. Don't take yourself too serious. Just laugh about and be gentle with yourself and say, okay, buddy, nobody needs you to be perfect. You just need to be yourself. Because every second, as Paz had taught us, you have the choice. You have the choice to be happy. You have, and happiness is always an inside job. And I love your example, Paz, what you said with the overflowing cup. Because when something spills over, like love and gratitude and joy, you know that being grateful, choosing happiness, is a guarantee that you won't ever feel empty, because it just fills itself up by every action you take. And I might hop on this, what you shared by what my spiritual teacher had taught me, where he said, you know, many people in this world are just like loving the fast food approach and want instant gratification in everything they do. So the biggest instant gratification is that no matter where you live, no matter how much money you have, no matter how much you have a reason to explode out of joy right now, you can do everything always with a high vibration of love, as if the destiny of the universe would depend on how you do what you do. So when someone says, okay, Paz and David, what's a good approach to feel uplifted? Then we can teach them and say, first, understand and remember what you knew before you came into this world, that you are no victim, that you are the master of your life when you learn to serve, when you learn to be a vessel for love, and when you do everything you do with a high vibration of love, as if the destiny of the universe depends on it. Bind your shoes as if the universe depends on how you bind your shoes. Do the dishes in with a high vibration of love, as if the universe would depend on how you do the dishes. And even shower as if the destiny of the universe depends on how you shower, how you cherish your body. So passes gratitude, message, thoughts, plus feelings, plus action create happiness. That's a magic formula that may, and I hope so, that may carry you through the rest of your long, happy, and healthy life by remembering this. It's so easy. T plus F plus A equals the big H. Thoughts, feelings, action creates happiness. And that is so awesome what you share. I feel so uplifted and I feel so happy. So
Yes, I'll give your viewers, right, my personal manifesto. My personal manifesto is something that is freeing for everyone. My personal manifesto goes like this: I love me. I'm worthy. Some people may not like me, but I don't care, because the people that matter will be glad that I'm here. I'll say it again for you. I love me. I'm worthy. Some people may not like me, but I don't care, because the people that matter will be glad that I'm here. And once you realize that, because you can't please everybody.
that's what
Even as a happiness engineer, I can't please everybody. There's always going to be somebody who's going, you can hire a hater every day. And I tell people to do that. Hire a hater every day. And I'm like, hire a hater, yeah. If you be yourself to the fullest of your extent, somebody's going to hate you for no reason, and they're going to promote you. Haters only going to, they're just they're unpaid promoters. They're
Yeah,
promoters of your vision. So
exactly.
hire a new hater every day by being you even greater than you were yesterday. And once you realize you can't please everybody, the only ones that matter will be glad that you're here. They'll add on to your mission. They'll help you spread your joy. They'll help you, tap into your passion, and they'll bring more people to you. But the only way you can get to that point is to understand that you're worthy. You are worthy. We're all worthy. No one can ever be better at being you than you. So you are the best.
Amen to
You are
that.
the,
A
you
big
are the
amen to
best.
that. Absolutely.
Yeah. We
And
spend too much time trying to be as good as someone else instead of being as best as we can be. Be better every single day. I'll never be as good at being David as David, right? And
that's right.
he can never be good at being Paz as Paz. All
Totally.
he has to do is be as great as he can be today and get a little bit better tomorrow. If we can get better, right? 1% every single day, by the end of the year, we're 365% better.
Absolutely. And one years, every 4 years, even 366.
Yes.
So you can edit yourself, and there is so much that you can write down when you listen and look at this interview for the second time. That this is a whole treasure that can keep you busy for the next years to come. Being grateful, waking up with gratitude, value yourself, love yourself, and really don't give an S about what other people think about you. And there are so many people who want to, and I can so relate to what you say from my coaching practice. There are so many people who want to be everybody's darling, who define life with outside reference, to define life that I am just a good person when I have outside appreciation. So I need to forget myself. I need to spread my legs and do everything for others and sacrifice my life and my personality by pleasing everybody. And it doesn't work, no matter what you do. Pleasing everybody just fails. So be happy and content inside yourself. Be loyal to the people who are your friends. And what you say yesterday, what you said in our chat, it's so important that people have the right vibration. And gratitude and happiness is the high quality vibration that helps you to attract alike. So that's so wonderful. And what you said about John Assaraf in terms of thinking with the brain. We talked yesterday about brain plasticity because people ask me, how can I evolve my brain? How can I make new neurocortical connections? That there is a gang in my brain who associates my intention with what I want to manifest. And we can learn from past that just create a pure intention. Add some value to the world. No matter where you are and no matter how old you are, you can always add value into mankind. You can always add value into the planet. And you can always get instant gratification emotionally. Remember Pass's formula: thoughts plus feelings plus actions. So when you combine your pure intention with a high quality emotion, this connects you to the quantum field, to the field of possibilities and opportunities where everything is a potential reality. And you create this reality by having the pure intention and the strong emotion. And the brain doesn't make a difference between what you are imagining or what is really happening. The brain just depends on what do you think, how strong do you feel, and that's a strong vibration. And the quantum field responds to it by giving you the golden key to unlock the door. So if you would ask Paz, how do I feel what happiness is? Apply his magic formula. Use the right thoughts, use your brain for a change and your brain capacity for thinking good thoughts. Thoughts become things. Then use your thoughts to create powerful emotions, gratitude, and I am sure, Paz, you would agree, when I give the ball back into your court, with all, like Spider-Man said, with great power comes great responsibility. So this is all what you say, and I feel this vibration from you. It's all about staying humble. It's all about using this huge connections and this power to be humble and say every good in life needs to be related to God. Everything comes from a higher power. Everything comes from bliss, from a point of bliss. Am I right?
Amen. Yes, sir. Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Yeah.
So, as you are walking through, I tell people all the time, I don't have to drop to my knees to pray because I'm always in prayer. I'm always giving gratitude. I'm
Yeah.
always saying thank you, Lord. I'm always saying I appreciate you to someone, something, or just God itself. When you are in that constant state of appreciation, I tell people all the time, another thing, I'm always at church. Like you're always at church, but you're not in a building. Like church is not a building. If the only time you go to church is on Sunday, you're usually sinning from Monday to Saturday.
Yeah, that is the same as if you would think my heart is only beating from 9 to 5.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
So if we spend our time really understanding and putting God in the center, because when you keep God in the center, then there's no room for ego, because ego just means edging God out. I tell people all the time, I'm humbly self-confident. I'm very confident in who I am, very confident in where I'm going, but I'm humble because I cannot do it without that higher power,
That's
without
exactly the
without
case.
that spirit. So it may seem cocky to you if you're not someone else that's self-confident. It may seem cocky to you if you don't understand that I gave God the credit before I even started. Like even with my book, I tell people my book, The Big 365, was 366 original quotes written by God that I got to put my name on. What happens is that most of us have been taught to remove God from the center.
Yeah.
So when someone like us who are God-centered are speaking, it becomes sort of odd to them. So I tell people like this, I speak for God by just putting a cosign on what he's already spoken for me.
Exactly. So that is all copyrighted by the universe and executed by the vessel past Simpson.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
that's
sir.
so wonderful, and that's simply awesome and full of gems. So when you have written down your 10 things you can be grateful about, when you remember waking up and coming from a place of gratitude, appreciate your life. And someone just asked me a few weeks ago, um, what can you advise me when I am so desperate and don't see any light of the tunnel? And I say, the light is no illusion, the tunnel is. Because there is no limit for the bliss that surrounds you. Again, to what you said about perception. And the interesting thing is, when you start to appreciate your life and you appreciate everything, I repeat, everything that happens to you as if you would have wanted it exactly that way. When you come from this place of appreciation and say, okay, what if I co-created this? What if my thoughts had set out an intention and created a cause where I am responsible for the effects I achieve? When you give someone a knockout and give someone an uppercut, you can't say, okay, the pain that he feels wasn't me. That was because he hadn't cut his toenails properly in the morning. That would be simply big bullshit. So people are extremely responsible for what they do. So I want to add to the unlimited and huge wisdom that Paz is sharing here, that you always are in the middle of your eternity, that you are always in your present moment of creation. So when you stop to clinch to your past, that happened to me and my future needs to repeat itself because I'm a burnt child who is afraid of the fire. so I can't do it anymore because that was in the past, blah, blah, blah. Cherish the past as something that is over. Because we all have experienced shit in our life, and the great miracle is we survived it. And that's a sign that we are extremely strong as persons. We survived the shit of our past. And this shows how strong and how great we are as humans. We are survivors. And now we are in the middle of our present moment, and we are creators. We can create happiness and love for others. With your internal attitude, do everything you do with a high vibration of love, as if the destiny of the universe depends on how you do what you do. Take Pass's advice, smile a lot. Take his advice and make it your dominant belief system. I am worthy. And yes, you are. And then understand that there is a higher guiding power who gives you the chance to learn it the hard way or to learn it the easy way by just being a vessel of serving, adding value into the world, and simply follow the flow instead of the ego asking, ha, ha, what's in it for me? What's in it for me now? No, ask, how can I serve? How can I add value? And do it on the foundation of gratitude, love, appreciation. And remember Pass's magic formula, and the wizard want T being thoughts, F being emotions, A being actions. Choose high quality thoughts, think about his smile, and say, okay, what would Pass want me to think right now? Then create a strong feeling. Start with a smile. Start where you feel gratitude in your body. And even breathe deeply and ask yourself, where do I feel the deepest love in myself? And then keep this vibration, maintain it. And I share one magic secret with you on my end today. When you feel where love or gratitude is in your body, find a second location where gratitude expands. And find a third location. And then find a fourth location in your body where you have never felt gratitude before. What about feeling gratitude at the tip of your nose, that you can smell, that you can find the right direction where opportunity is to help, to be happy, to spread love? And circle it around and make it a loop and make it faster and faster and faster and double the gratitude and happiness and double it again. And then do it on the foundation of the formula, thoughts plus feelings plus actions create happiness. Because you have the honor here to experience wisdom from Mr. Happiness Engineer himself right now. So Pass, what comes to mind as you have shared so much wisdom? What is your vision of the future?
Well, my vision of the future is a vision of total bliss. And I'm doing my best to create that, because outside of running, I run a business services company. Outside of doing keynote speaking and writing books, I'm actually writing a book right now with one of my mentors. We're writing a book called Racial Intelligence, and that I think that book's gonna shed a whole lot of light on things, because there's only one race, is the divine human race,
Right.
and all of these other things are distractions, with the cultures, the skin color, all of those things are distractions, because I don't see your color, I see your soul.
Right.
So we're writing a book called Racial Intelligence, but then I also run a nonprofit organization that teaches children about entrepreneurship. So we teach children how to run businesses, how to put integrity, how to put innovation and creation back into their lifestyle. And we teach them at age 5. So we're actually in the process of opening up our first online charter school. It'll be opened up in September of 2017. So, I think that that's going to change the face of education in the United States and then hopefully worldwide, because it's going to make creation part of your everyday life. It's going to make that, part of the lifestyle that you lead. And it's teaching these children. We're not teaching these children, entrepreneurial theory. No, these kids actually own businesses. They actually make money. They're actually making a difference, and they're learning how to do it before they can, do multiplication. It's part of what they do. And then all the other silly things that become distractions, especially, in the United States, we have all our system is antiquated. So we're memorizing a whole bunch of stuff that you don't need to know. So by the time you actually get out of school, even when you get out of college, you're not really prepared to live, because you spend so much time filling your mind with things that you need to forget.
Oh, I can totally relate from my school. So let's just spend another minute. Where can people find information about this nonprofit, what you have talking about at the internet?
Oh, yes. The name of our nonprofit organization is Dream in Motion, and you can find us at www.dreaminmotion.us. So not dreams with an S, but dream, DREAMINMOTION.US. So dreaminmotion.us. And you can see some of the great things that we're doing. Like we have a 10-year-old architect, David, whose
Awesome.
his goal is to end homelessness. And he's actually getting ready to build his first home before his 11th birthday.
Wow.
That's amazing. That's amazing. These kids
that gives me shivers. That gives me goosebumps here first. That gives me goosebumps.
Yes, these kids are doing such amazing things. So I'm so honored and so humbled that God has allowed me to be a part of their journey, and I know that we're going to have a bigger, brighter world, because they're actually, our star students now are getting ready to do a 9-city tour in the United States. And it's going to be children teaching children about entrepreneurship.
Wow.
And they're going to be able to teach them from their own experience over the last few years of running their own business. Because you know what happens whenever you're listening to anything, you want to hear it from someone in your peer group.
Totally. Okay.
And even though I may dress like I'm cool because I don't wear suits, I still wear motivational T-shirts everywhere, even to business meetings with boardrooms. I'm coming in my motivational T-shirt because I say all the time, all you have to do is read my chest to be motivated. I'm still old to the 5-year-old,
Yeah,
and,
right.
so she wants to hear it for someone who's in her age group, someone who she can relate to. So to have these children now being able to teach other children, not only can they be entrepreneurs, they can teach them from the experience they've had as entrepreneurs, and they can be inspiring themselves. So that is amazing, because I aspire to inspire.
Absolutely. And that reminds me of my 9-year-old daughter, who was just talking with us about the kind of company that she would love to run. And there is nothing better than what you do. What's the best in parenting? Just be a living role model yourself. Just be the living example that you want to teach. There is no sense in just teaching out of books and going at the internet. Let me Google about parenting. How can I just make an argument go away between the kids? Just be love yourself. Be the role model that you want to teach, because action always teaches more than just simple words.
I tell people all the time, right? This is the realest thing that you can understand, that children see with their ears.
Yes.
They see with their ears.
So,
you
right.
know, and they hear with their eyes. And there's a big difference, because we're always told we hear with our ears and see with our eyes. No, children see with their ears and they hear with their eyes. They hear what you're doing by looking at you.
Absolutely.
They're gonna mimic what you do. No matter, you could tell a kid, don't smoke, don't smoke, don't smoke. But they don't hear don't. They see what you do.
Right.
So they're gonna smoke because they see you smoke. And yes, you know, they're gonna hear what you're saying, but you know, those words, you know, are only gonna fall on deaf ears if they don't match the actions. You know, so you know, I spend my whole life, you know, as far as what my children, like you talk about your children, my children have, you know, they've owned two businesses already. My two babies, you know, my two older kids were, unfortunately, I wasn't the entrepreneur that I am now, but they have their own creativity. My oldest son, he's a playwright, you know,
Wow.
but my two babies, you know, they've only understood the entrepreneurial spirit. So they've owned two businesses. They just finished their first book called Waterworks, where they're describing how I worked for them last summer. They were my employer last summer. You know,
Wow. Awesome.
they sold enough waters to buy their own school clothes, to take their mother on the town, and
Wow.
still put money in the bank. And they they were my employer because I wanted them to understand that when someone's giving you of their time, that time is not free. And
Right.
of course, I didn't charge them everything. They just paid my phone bill. That was an even exchange, you know, for the amount of time that I put in for them to become greater. And now they wrote a book about that. And, you know, they're 8 and 9 now. So it's so different because their lifestyle and their experiences are so different because they've seen it at a different aspect. And then being that we have Dream in Motion as a nonprofit, they get to talk to other children who are now living their lifestyle and moving like them. So it's amazing to see how their development will come because they're not by themselves. It's not just daddy telling them. There's other kids in their age group doing it. There's other parents around who are encouraging their kids to be just like them. So it's a great thing. Like, I didn't found Dream in Motion. I'm not the founder. I'm just the senior advisor. It was founded by a great woman named Rochelle Baltimore. And how I wound up getting involved in it was because my children were running their own businesses and making their own money and buying their own things. Like, I don't buy my kids anything. They can go earn it for themselves. They've learned how to do that, you know, and we can go get it together. We
Yes,
can work together to
exactly.
get it, but I'm not going to buy it for you, you know, because you're limiting them by putting them in a place where they are not in a position to be able to think to earn. And that's when you're not raising adults, you know, when you're not giving it to them as children. So my son and daughter said, Dad, we feel a little weird. And I'm like, why? They're like, because when we talk to our friends about we make our own money and we buy our own things, they look at us like, you know, we're strange. I said, okay, time to find you some new friends. At least that's what I said in my head.
Yeah.
I didn't tell them that, you know. So I had already met Rochelle Baltimore. We've already had conversations because we share a mentor. So I told her, hey, remember what my mentor said, that I need to be working with you? I'm ready. And I've been, you know, working with them ever since. And it's been a great experience, a greater experience for my children by me stepping up and doing that.
This is extremely amazing beyond words. And just to share an intimate story from our daughter again, we sent the kids load for the mobile just to have a little bit fun with texting. And I just had the funny idea, see how she handles to get twice as much load and how she can do it. And then she said, well, I exchanged and sent some load to my aunt because she wanted something for the mobile, and I put the money in my piggy bank because I can handle the amount of load that I regularly got. So you gave me more, and I decided to save it, that I can buy something for myself. So that exactly the spirit, being the living role model and teaching by living example. And before I round this amazing interview, this high vibrational energy with my total humble honor and gratitude to you up, I just want to sum it up again for the listeners. Remember, you are no victim. You have the choice to be happy. Wake up with a sense of gratitude. Appreciate your experiences in your life as if you would have created them. Understand you are living in the middle of your eternity right now. Live out of your present moment of creation, because nothing else matters, neither future nor past. What you are doing, the most important step is the step you are taking right now. And it might be one of the best steps you have ever taken to remember the magic formula. T, meaning thoughts. Choose high quality and good ones, good intentions. Plus F, feelings. Connect strong emotions to it. A, take action. And it becomes a huge H. And connect Percy's face with it and his smile and his awesome mindset and gratitude. Close your eyes, wake up in the morning, see Percy's smile, think strong thoughts with pure intentions, connect feelings of gratitude with it, and take action. And create the big, huge H in your life by the advice of Mr. Happiness Engineer himself. And to close it up with my gratitude, it was an awesome experience with you, Pez. I'm extremely grateful. Please close the interview with telling the people how they can access your own website, how they can connect with you, how they can simply stay in touch and benefit from your wisdom when we close the interview right now.
Oh, that's very simple. You can find me at thehappinessengineer.com. That's thehappinessengineer.com. You know, I'm totally open to all things. You can even call me directly. I have no problem giving out my cell phone number, 484-426-5320. You know, I say you can definitely go there. If you're a business owner, we're getting ready to launch a new site to actually help to hold your hand through business, because the scariest thing in building a business is not knowing what's next. You know, and God has blessed me with so many great people and so many great resources. So we're actually starting a way to help people climb through the seven figures, and it's going to be called millionairemolder.com. You can look for that in the next week. We have some great things coming, great animation video. But if you're just looking for the basics of happiness, if you're looking for a great coach, if you're looking for a great mentor, you know, if you're looking for a keynote speaker, you know, find me at thehappinessengineer.com, and I'll be more than happy to help. I'll smile big. I'll give you some love, and I'll make sure that you understand, right? If you pay it forward, the universe will pay you back 10 times. So it was my honor to be here with you, David, you know, and I'm glad, you know, that, you know, we connected, and I look forward to seeing how many different ways we can serve together.
Absolutely. Amen to this.
And if you ever need more people to interview, I have a great group of people, and I will be glad to send you great people, because you're doing some great work here. I surround myself with genius and greatness, because one of the things God said, right, for you to reach greatness, you must first be grateful. And in my gratitude, I've been given great people.
I will continue to talk with Paz a few minutes privately, and I close the recording and the interview right now, because I am totally sure and aware that you can harvest so many benefits, that you harvest so many treasure from this awesome man here, and that I am sure you consider the interview to be extremely valuable for you. Be grateful, appreciate, be happy, remember the magic formula, and live your life with a high vibration of love, making your good choices, high quality thoughts, strong emotions, and take action now. David John StClair and Paz Simpson say bye.